Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. I totally forgot that I had my mic muted. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Uh, hopefully everything is good now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know. I hear it. Sound, sound, sound. I see it. I see it. Hopefully everything is good now. You guys got me now? You guys got me now? Let me know if I'm okay. Good. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I had that stupid mute button pressed while the timer was going off, and I completely forgot about it. Anyway, welcome once again. I tell you, I am following in the footsteps of my good friend Glenn, who constantly has audio problems on his show. I think, I'm probably the number two live show with audio problems on YouTube. But thank you so much for joining in. Always appreciate you guys being here. In a minute, we'll say hi to everybody who's in the chat, who's hanging out today. I see people streaming in. Thank you guys so much. As always, I always appreciate it when you spend a little bit of time with me here on a Wednesday. As I was trying to say before when I was completely muted, I am hoping to try to get more shows in a month's time, trying to figure out some ways that I can do it. Still on Wednesdays. I think I'm going to stick with Wednesdays. It seems to be... that seems to be a good night for it. It doesn't seem to bump against anybody else who's doing shows. So, we'll see kind of how that goes. But as always, I have a jam-packed show for you guys tonight. I'm going to try to get it all in under an hour so you guys can go over and check out Arcades Anonymous if you want. I will have a redirect to them after the show, so you can just stick around and head right over to them if you like after the show. But I got a bunch of stuff to cover tonight. Got a lot of AtGames news, actually. A lot's been going on with AtGames just in the last couple of days, and there's a few things that I really want to cover later on tonight, some of which may actually be brand new stuff that you guys are probably either just hearing tonight or maybe just heard about, and I'm going to cover tonight. So I think that's going to be exciting. Beyond that, we're going to touch on a couple of different things, some retro games that are out there that are coming out soon, a little bit of VR news. I have got my Star Wars shirt on. We're going to celebrate Star Wars Day a little bit early, because there's a lot of really cool sales and things going on now that you guys may or may not be aware of. So I want to make you guys aware of them so that you can definitely check them out. But as we got people coming in, let's say hi. Let's see who is here in the chat checking out. Of course, we have our friend and moderator, Jason Little Alien. Always glad to have you here. Always glad to have you helping out. Just such a great guy. You guys, you really don't understand how much he does for this community. John J is here. JJ is also here. What you got for us tonight? I kind of went over it a little bit. You'll see as we go on. Good buddy Gamer Fridge is here. Jay Pixel, I was on his show like a week ago. We had a blast. So much fun. Be sure you check those guys out Monday before Michael B. Be sure you check them out for sure. J-Rod is here. We got Mike Hawkhurts. We got Ritual Dello in the chat. As always, thank you so much for coming by. Israel Gaming is here. Hello, hello. Saying Spirits, letting me know I got no audio. We're all fixed now. Thank you so much. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Calvin Wong. Good to see you. So glad to see that you are here. Uh-oh. Just had to power back up after a power outage. Well, glad you got that sorted out in time for the show. So thanks, Jason. Thumper Squid is here. Hello. Good to see you as well. And I love you guys. That's why I am always trying to promote your guys' show. I'm always trying to make sure that people go check you guys out after mine whenever I am on. So, all right, let's get into things because, like I said, I got a lot to cover tonight. So let me see. Let me check my notes, bring up all my stuff here, and see if we can jump right into it. All right, so to start off, I want to I want to show this to you guys. So this is a brand new game that is going to be coming out. Oh, Jason, thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate that as always. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Open Fridge, Monday, 7 Eastern. Check them out. They put on a great show. So this is a game I wanted to point out to you guys. This is Wings of Endless. This is a modern retro, retro modern, however you want to describe it, type game. It's a pixel art, side-scrolling, platforming, action RPG. This is from Jadusoft. This is going to be coming out in just another week, May 8th. This drops. You can see here, coming out for all the platforms: Steam, Switch, PS4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S. They just sent me their press kit and a key for this on Steam earlier today, so I've had a chance to check this game out. I'm hoping to have some gameplay and a review up by the time this drops on May 8th. They do have an embargo till May 8th on this. I'm hoping I will get a chance to put something together so you guys can see this game. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to play the trailer here for you guys while I talk about this. So if you like these kind of old school looking games but still feel modern to play, this one is a lot of fun. Like I said, it's got RPG elements to it. It's got platforming elements to it. You can switch between 3 different characters throughout the game. I played a little bit of it this afternoon while I was on my lunch break. Played through the first area, the first dungeon, really quick on it. You only have access to the one main character to start off with, and I guess you get the others as time progresses. But this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's relatively inexpensive too. It's, I think, $13 across the platforms. Let me see. Okay, now that that's done, I can come back to here. I think, yeah, $12.99 US across all these different platforms. So if you like this kind of game, definitely keep an eye on this. Check this out. It's going to drop May 8th. Yeah, it's European date, May 8th. And like I said, I had a lot of fun playing a little bit of this. I'll play some more of it, and I'll try to have a review up before, right around the time that it drops. All right. Moving on, some of you guys may know a company called, I believe that this is Hamster Soft, I think is the name of the company, but they do this arcade archives where they release old classic arcade games. Again, Jason, you're right on it. Thank you so much, as always. Everything I talk about, I'll always put links in the description after the show. But, Jason, as always, thank you so much for doing that. Arcades Anonymous. Arcades Archives is, a series of old arcade games that they put out across different platforms. Sometimes they're hit or miss. Like, I'm going to say, a lot of the games that they have released lately, I haven't really covered because they've been kind of, I guess the nicest way to say it is deep cuts for arcade games. A lot of crap you probably either haven't heard of or stuff that's just wasn't very popular, but they just released, or I think this comes out tomorrow or the May 2nd. This comes out really, really soon. And this is Super Xevious. And this is one that hasn't seen a release on any platform, I think, in quite a while. I just remember this one being a really fun game from back in the day. So if you like these kind of arcade games, chat, wake up! Cornicate's here. If you like these old school arcade games, especially these vertical scrolling shooters, like this, Xevious is a classic. Super Xevious is a great game. They're going to be releasing this for Nintendo and PlayStation. I think these games retail for about $8, if I remember correctly, which is honestly not cheap, but not awful, I guess, for these games. Yeah, so starting tomorrow, $8, you can pick this up for the Switch and the PlayStation. I guess this doesn't come to Xbox. Maybe that'll happen in the future. I know a lot of times they release these games on Steam and stuff like that. But this is one definitely to check out. All right, let's see what we got going on in the chat real quick before I move on. That's the new show, Arcades Anonymous. Arcade Archives Anonymous. Yeah, easy mistake. Oh, Cornicade, Danny, always good to see you. All right, so let's move on. Like I said, I want to get through a bunch of this stuff as quickly as possible because the AtGames stuff I got a lot on, and I want to make sure I have time to cover it. So we're going to jump into a little VR news. And by the way, I'm trying to work on some videos or different things to kind of segue from one topic to the next. Hopefully within the next couple of shows, I'll have some stuff put together with that, so it's not just me going from one thing or another, and that might even make it easier for me at some point to put timestamps on the videos too. So for those of you who are watching this on replay, if you want to jump to something specific, then you can do that for sure. Am I getting the Numbskull Burger Time? Probably not. One of these days, I want to pick up Numbskull. Burger Time definitely looks pretty cool. I definitely want to pick up something from them at some point. It's just, damn you, Danny, that is enticing. I don't know. I like right now. Just I'm kind of on a spending freeze for a lot of stuff. Although I might be putting in a pre-order for the Skee-Ball. We'll see. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. We'll see. I haven't fully decided yet. But let me move on because I want to cover some VR news, and there's a couple of really cool things to talk about. Hey, B Kirby, always good to see you. So glad you could make it tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, let's see. Next, go back to here. All right, so VR news. How many of you, like me, are fans of Walkabout Mini Golf? I have absolutely fallen in love with that game. I especially love playing online with people. Danny, Jason, Lillian are in the chat here. We play quite a bit online. We always have a lot of fun. Danny gets the luckiest damn shots of anybody I've ever seen play the game. He just, I swear, I think he closes his eyes and just hits the ball and hopes it goes where it's supposed to, and it freaking does, and it's annoying as all hell. Actually, no, he's really good at Walkabout, and it's always fun to play with him. Jason's always a lot of fun to play with. If you guys have it's talent. Yeah, okay. I've seen some of the shots you've made, and you've got very, very lucky, my friend. If you got a MetaQuest 2, MetaQuest 3, whatever, come join us because it's a lot of fun. But they are coming out with a brand new course for it. This drops tomorrow. This is Raptors Cliffs, and this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's basically Walkabout Jurassic Park. And this just looks like it's going to be a really fun course to play. I can't wait to get this one when it releases tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to get online tomorrow night and play with some people. Luckily, I am off on Friday. So if I stay up a little late on Thursday night playing some mini golf, I might be able to get away with it. We'll see. But that looks like it's going to be a really fun course. So if you are a fan of Walkabout Mini Golf, definitely check that one out when it drops tomorrow. What do we got going on here? Where's your days? Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check that one out. And way to go, Jason. I know you've been having some issues playing lately. I know just, I don't want to talk about your stuff, but I know, you've had some issues with your eyes and whatever. Hopefully you're going to get that figured out. But man, good for you. Good for you. Everyone needs to hop on VR and golf. It's absolutely now that would be a fun course. But Nooner, how you choose to play the game is up to you. Luckily, we can't see you, so hey, man, have at it, buddy. Whatever floats your boat. All right. In other VR news, and this is going to kind of lead me into a bit of a segment here because as we said, or as I said earlier, we're coming up on Star Wars Day. This Sunday is May the 4th be with you. And there is always a lot of great stuff going on if you're a Star Wars fan, especially if you're a Star Wars game fan. And this year is no different. A lot of games on sale, a lot of interesting stuff going on. Sticking with VR for a minute, if you own a MetaQuest, they do have a bunch of the Star Wars games on sale right now. They've got the Vader Immortal games on sale. They've got Star Wars Pinball VR and Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what the price is for the Galaxy's Edge stuff to be on sale because I own it already and it's not showing it to me. But Vader Immortal is an awesome game if you haven't played that. I played this on PSVR. I don't have it on Quest, but I did play it on the original PlayStation VR. A lot of fun. God, if you pick this up for $10 when it's normally $30, man, if you have not played Vader Immortal, check this game out because it is a lot of fun. It's basically, it's 3 chapters, almost like 3 separate games that you play through, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, you could pick them up separately for $350, but the $10.50 for all 3 is definitely a better deal. So that is one for sure to look up. Star Wars Pinball VR, I haven't played this. I've heard, things about it, that it's just kind of okay, especially when you compare it to the new Pinball Effects VR that just came out. Now, whether or not they're going to bring any of the Star Wars games into that, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, they have Indiana Jones in there for a lot of you guys who know, but whether or not they wind up bringing the Star Wars games, again, we'll have to wait and see. But if you really want to get a Star Wars pinball fix in VR, instead of $25 down to $8.50 is a pretty good deal for that. Again, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, I don't know what the sales price is on this, but this is just a really, really fun game. I've been playing through it for a long time. I kind of stop and go back. I keep going back and forth between this and Batman when I'm not playing Walkabout. I'm trying to get through because I'm on like the final bit of the DLC missions, Last Call on it. I'm almost to the end of it, and it's such a great game. This one, the bundle with the Last Call content, that's the one I would recommend if you don't have this, because it'll probably be a better deal than buying the 2 separate anyway. Or if you have Galaxy's Edge and you've been waiting on the DLC, go ahead and get it now while it's on sale. Really immersive, really fun. just absolutely love this Star Wars game, and I'm excited because they're supposed to be coming out with a new Star Wars game soon in VR, so that is one that I definitely want to check out. Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, towards the best. You're probably right, Brooklyn. I mean, I don't have the PSVR 2, but I can imagine that the graphics fidelity is probably a lot better on it than it is on the Meta, although again, you got to, Meta, you're completely wireless. So that is, and graphics-wise, it's no slouch. I think it looks phenomenal. Jason, thanks so much for this. As always, right on there, Galaxy's Edge. That is a deal. That is so worth it. If you don't have this, if you don't have PSVR 2, if you can't get it there, or if it's, I don't know if it's on sale there, if it's the regular price or whatever, if you got a Quest, pick this game up. You will be glad you did. It is just so much fun. Yeah, I know. He's the guru of VR. So I bow to his greatness when it comes to VR. I have no doubts that he knows what he's talking about. They remade the game with it's basically remade from the ground up, isn't it? It's like a totally new version and enhanced version of the game. Again, I'm sure it is definitely the superior version. But having said that, if you want a Quest and you want to get it cheap and you want to have fun, check it out on Quest. And if you have a PSVR 2 and you want to get it there, because I'm sure it's got to be phenomenal on that. Now, sticking with the Star Wars theme, there's a couple other things going on. Now, as some of you are probably well aware, the Epic Game Store for PC, they give away a game like once a week. Sometimes they've been really phenomenal games. Sometimes they've been throwaway games anyway. But they're teasing that on, sometime in May. Does it say? I forget if it says when here. Probably on May 4th. That they are going to be releasing. They're going to be putting a Star Wars game up for free on their platform. A lot of people are speculating that it's going to be Star Wars Outlaws, which is, obviously a fairly recent game that didn't do as well as they hoped for Ubisoft. People have given it very mixed reviews, but it still looks like a lot of fun to me. I haven't picked it up yet. It's one that I would definitely like to play at some point, especially if it comes out cheap. If it comes out free on Epic, I'll download it in a heartbeat and check it out. But if it goes on sale for a decent price, I'll probably wind up picking it up at some point. Apparently, DLC is supposed to be coming out for it soon, so the thought process being here that if Epic gives it away, maybe that will convince people to buy the DLC. Ooh, Gamerfish didn't like it at all. It sucks, huh? All right, that's too bad. I mean, it looked like a lot of fun. But having said that, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's going to be Outlaws. I think they're probably going to give away Jedi Survivor. That's my guess of the game that's actually going to wind up being free because it's been out for a while. It's already gone free on PS on one of the tiers for PS Plus. I'm playing through it now on PlayStation, and it's a pretty fun game, although I do like the first game better, but it is still fun. I believe it's free on Game Pass as well for Xbox. So the fact that it's been out for a while, the fact that it's already free on other platforms leads me to believe that they're probably going to be giving away Star Wars Jedi Survivor. In any case, keep an eye on Epic Games over this next week coming up. And if you're a Star Wars fan, there's a good chance that they're going to be giving away a Star Wars game on their platform this week coming up. And look, even if it's a game you already have on other platforms, it's always cool to have it like on PC to be able to play, different ways if you want, and for free. What the hell, right? Speaking of Star Wars, anyone watching season 2 of Andor? Haven't had a chance to watch it myself. All right, I'll take a second on that one. I've watched the first three episodes so far. I think the fourth one just dropped, and it's good, but so far not quite as good as the first season. Now, the first season kind of started off slow too, and then picked up. This one, same thing. It kind of starts off a little bit slow, although there's one thing that goes on when Andor gets stuck on a planet in between two, between this group that kind of splinters and winds up fighting each other because they have a disagreement on basically what to do with Andor, with Cassian. And it's actually kind of really funny in how it plays out and all, and I kind of enjoyed that. But then they kind of get into this, like, kind of political realm. I know the word woke gets thrown around a lot for stuff, but yeah, something happens. I'm being honest. For me, something happened in the third episode, and I was like, all right, here we go. We've got, even though the episode was shot like months and months ago, before, recent events, it kind of plays right into some things that have been happening in the U.S. recently, and it kind of, I'll be honest with you, it kind of lost me. I don't like when these shows and movies and stuff feel like they have to get preachy at you, and it becomes more about the message than the story, and it's just not fun for me when it's like that. I mean, there are ways to do things, especially in sci-fi, where you can comment on things and make it feel organic in the story without feeling like, you're being hit over the head with a 2x4 with the message. Like, it has to be whatever. And I don't know, it kind of went in that category for me, and it kind of lost me a little bit. I'll still watch it. I still think it's a fun show. I'm really curious to see where it goes, but if that's the only egregious, I can let it slide. But we'll see. If the show starts to continue to get too preachy, it's going to lose me. But the first season was great, so I'm giving the second season a chance, and I'm hoping it picks up and gets a little bit better as the next round of episodes hits. So I'll get off my soapbox for that one. But, Nooner, you asked, so I figured I'd throw in my 2 cents on that one. All right, back to Star Wars games. Another platform that I know a lot of you guys are probably very aware of on PC, GOG, Galaxy of Games, Good Old Games, whatever you want to call it. They have just put a bunch of their Star Wars games on sale as well, a bunch of the classic games. And these are at like ridiculously good prices. If you don't have these, or if you haven't played these in a long time and you want to pick them up on your PC to play again, they got Star Wars Dark Forces, they got X-Wing Special Edition, TIE Fighter Special Edition, probably two of the greatest fighter simulation games ever put on PC. Star Wars Battlefront and Rebel Assault 1 and 2 on sale. Normally these games retail on there for $10, which is already a pretty good deal. But right now through May 6th, they are going to be $2.50 a piece. So for $2.50, if you don't have access to these games right now on PC, check them out. All these games are a lot of fun. The original Battlefront is kind of just okay. I think. But Dark Forces, phenomenal. One of my all-time favorite first-person shooters. X-Wing and TIE Fighter Special Edition, for, space simulators. So much fun. So good. I'm still hold up today. And Rebel Assault 1 and 2, again, okay, but fun. So, no, not on Steam, on GOG, good old games, Galaxy of Games, whatever you want to call it, GOG. Check it out on there. So for $2.50 a piece, they're totally worth it. They are absolutely worth it, and they are a lot of fun. But yeah, tons of stuff going on for Star Wars. I think I got, let's see. One other thing. This is the last thing for Star Wars. And this, oh no, I lost. Oh, there was one other thing, but I lost it. I think I must have closed the browser. So I'll just real quick. Hold on. You know what? I was talking that whole time. I wasn't even showing the screen. So here it is really quick. Here's the screenshot. GOG, Galaxy of Games. Here's your games on sale for $2.50 a piece instead of $10. I should have had the screen up when I was talking instead of just talking. Thanks for the opinion. That's Hollywood for you. Can't always be creative without subtle or not so subtle. So yeah, it loses me after a while, if I'm being quite honest. Dark Forces is the GOAT. That might be a little TMI, Mike Hawkerts, but I couldn't agree with you more. Dark Forces is a phenomenal game. I actually want to get the remake that they did. I haven't picked that up yet. One of these days, I'm definitely going to get that and play through that. But look, the original is still a great game. I did forget, there was one other thing that I had. For some reason, I lost. I must have closed the tab on it without realizing. And most of you aren't going to care anyway, but I'll just throw this out there. If you're a Fortnite fan, on May 2nd, they're going to have a Star Wars crossover into Fortnite based on Star Wars Tales of the Underworld, which is a new show. Another new show that's going to be on Disney Plus. It's, I believe, it's an animated one, like some of those other tales of things that they did on a computer or whatever kind of CGI show or whatever. But they've got a new show. Disney's got a new show coming out at some time in May. I forget the exact date it drops, but Tales of the Underworld is actually going to be part of Fortnite starting May 2nd. So even before the show comes out. So again, for those of you who may be Fortnite fans, or maybe you got kids who like to play Fortnite, that's something for Star Wars too. Now, finally, after talking about Epic, after talking about good old games, of course, we've got Steam as well. Steam has a bunch of games on sale as well. They may even have some of the same games. And here's the list of all of the Steam games that are going to be on sale. Hang on, let me just... They're currently on sale through at least May 4th, maybe a little bit past that. So these games, I believe, are already on sale. Again, you got Force Unleashed, you've got X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing Special Edition. So yeah, even... It's always interesting. All these platforms, they follow each other. So X-Wing Special Edition is normally is 75% off. So it's also $2.50 on Steam. So Calvin, yeah, if you're more of a Steam person and you don't use GOG, some of these games, if not all of these games, you'll be able to pick up on Steam as well for the same price. So that's good. Yeah, you got X-Wing, you got Battlefront 2, Dark Forces. Wow, Dark Forces is even cheaper on Steam. It's $1.50. It's $1.50 instead of $2.50. Empire at War Episode 1. Yeah, you can see the list here, and they're all super cheap. Most of them are $1.50, $2.50. The Battlefront Classic Collection is $27. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. You can see the whole list here. Oh, and if you're a Pinball Effects fan and you play on Steam, it looks like a bunch of the Star Wars tables are going to be on sale as well. including Star Wars Pinball VR. If you want to play it on Steam as opposed to Meta, you can get it on sale there as well. So, yeah, a lot of times, obviously, a lot of you guys know when stuff goes on sale on one platform, all the other platforms tend to follow suit. So, again, you can see right here, if you like these games on Steam as opposed to GOG, you could definitely get the same ones here. And in some cases, like Rebel Assault 1 and 2, same price. In some cases, like Dark Forces, it's going to be even cheaper, $150 as opposed to $250. So there you go. That is your Star Wars news. So a lot to look forward to for May the 4th. A lot of which, like I said, is going on right now. Really enjoyed the Fortnite Mando season a few years back. They really went all out. Yeah, well, we'll see what they do with this Star Wars. So, all right. In other news, we got a little Switch news. And I promise you, it's not pre-order news. For once. This has nothing to do with Ooh, am I? That was weird. My video jumped for a second there. I think I'm okay. All right. So as opposed to pre-order news, this either happened yesterday or today. This is news from yesterday. So I think this happened yesterday, although I just downloaded it today. So the Switch got an update. They are finally up to version 20 of the software. They went to a full number version on this one. And it makes sense because this was actually a pretty big update. A lot of really cool stuff in this. And most of it, I think, is in preparation for the Switch 2 to come out. Oh, excuse me. Now, one of the really cool things that they did in this update is they added a submenu for virtual game cards. So this is a really convenient way to look at all of your digital games that you've downloaded onto your Switch or that you've bought on your Switch, not even downloaded, in one spot without having to go to to your library and sort through and find them and whatever. And right from here, you can, if you want to download a game and play it, you can do it. And it's a really I really like the layout of it. I like what they've done here with this. It makes a lot of sense, and I think that this was a good update for them. Along with that, they've also added a section for game share. So I know with the Switch 2, they talked about being able to share a game with another Switch that you own or with a friend's Switch or whatever, so the two of you can play together or whatever. So that is now live on the Switch. So if you want to do that, that's something you can do. Always on it, Jason. Thank you so much for that. They've added some user verification settings, online license settings. They changed the way the eShop and the Switch News, the way the icons look on there. They've added a section for system transfer. So if you own a Switch already and you're planning on getting a Switch 2, there's going to be a thing built right into the Switch that you can transfer all your settings, all your games, all your stuff right over to the Switch 2 without having to go through all of that setup again. So that's really cool. So if you own a Switch, whether you're planning on picking up the Switch 2 or not, because quite honestly, I'm not planning on picking one up, at least not right away, go ahead and do this update because there's some really cool stuff in it. So absolutely go ahead and check that out. So yeah, no pre-order news here. No tariff news, no pre-order news, just something really cool for the Switch. All right, let's talk about this for a minute. Because I know a lot of people have very mixed emotions about this. So I kind of wanted to get into it just a little bit. I did put out a video earlier this week when this dropped, so I gave my opinions on this for the most part, but I'm kind of interested in hearing from you guys a little bit on this tonight, and just let me know what you guys think about this Skee-Ball. Hang on, there we go. If you could, it's still looking like it's just landing a customer. Yeah, maybe. So let me know what you guys think about this Skee-Ball. Now, I got to tell you, I am interested in this. I do think with the discount code at 119, it's a good deal for what this does. You get the free sign to go with it. I like the little ticket redemption thing that it has. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays. I know some people were concerned that they switched from the balls being little wooden balls to actually being metal balls. My guess is that has to do with weight, because I guess the original one, that the prototype that they showed actually had wooden balls. Detroit Love was saying to me on my video that it actually did have little wooden balls instead of little metal balls. No jokes. But I think they probably had to switch to the metal because it probably had to do with the weight of playing. It probably had to do with the sensors to register the score properly when it hits and whatever. But I know a lot of people are very concerned with New Wave Toys right now because there's a lot of outstanding stuff from them, and I get that. We've already had pre-orders for Golden Tee, for Crystal Castles, for Black Hole, and we're still waiting for a lot of that stuff to come out. I pre-ordered Golden Tee with the full-size control panel that Glenn worked on. I'm excited to see that, but what's it been, a year since they announced that? It's been a long time that we've been waiting on that. I think even longer for the pinball to come out. And here they are putting up yet another thing for pre-order that, as of right now, isn't even scheduled to come out until January of next year. Who knows if it'll slip beyond that. So I understand that people are concerned about what's going on with New Wave Toys, that, they're putting this out there and we're still waiting on at least 3 other machines from them. Yeah, no updates, 0 updates from, except when they want more money, and they always get it from. Yeah, well, listen, I'll counter that at least a little bit. They have started doing their own show on YouTube once a month, and yeah, you can say it's kind of a hype show. Yeah, you can say that sometimes the news is just, we're still working on it and all, but if I could be real for just a second, it's more news than we get from some of these other companies out there. At least they're getting on and they're doing a show, and it's a live show with chat, and they're interacting with people, and they're trying to answer questions and whatever. Hopefully it's something that they continue to do. Hopefully they'll do another one in May and we'll get some more updates from them. But yeah, I get it. Having said that, I'm really considering getting this because it's Skee-Ball. It's something interesting. It's something different. My wife is a big fan of Skee-Ball, so I think I might be able to convince her on this one, even though it's a little mini thing that, who knows how it plays, who knows how often you're going to play it. But I think it's just going to look cool with all the other ones that I have, even if I got to kind of put it in front of them or put it on its own thing, or maybe put it upstairs in my game room on its own. I just think it's going to be really cool looking. Yeah, Ritual Della, I get that. I do. Like I said, I totally get that. If I don't, Yeah, I still have that up on my shelf. Way smaller. This thing is like 20 inches long. That thing is like 5 inches long. Get a real Skee-Ball tin for space. Yeah, I wish. I wish. Going to go through the ticket rules in this faster than Zoltar. Hopefully, can turn the. That would be interesting if you could turn the feet. That would be interesting if you can turn the feature on and off. I'd also have to assume that you can get more ticket rolls for it, like you can with the Zoltar. Now, I mean, based on this, I don't know where they go. I don't know how you would get to them unless there's some way to pop this up, or maybe there'll be a panel on the side here that, because this is a prototype, you can't really see. But I'm assuming that there's got to be something that you can do for that. And yeah, I do agree. I think it would make sense to have maybe a switch in the back of this that you can turn that feature off. I don't know if they show the back. I don't think they show the back. No, there's no pictures of the back on this. So I'm sure the back I'm sure it'll have an on-off switch. I'm sure it'll have maybe a volume rocker, because this is going to have like noise and music to it. And yeah, if they're smart, they will put some kind of on-off switch for that ticket redemption as well. You know, if they start making shorts and with clueless and possibly, well, have you seen Shiloh on the videos they do? He may or may not be. I love Shiloh though. I think he's great. I really do. He's Shiloh's a straight shooter. You know, that's one thing you do have to give him that. He is definitely a straight shooter. You know, he's not afraid to get out there and just talk to people, say what's on his mind, and doesn't give a crap. But yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from on that one. By the way, I hope you guys, any of you who saw the video I did where I kind of did like a reaction video to some of Arcade 1-Up's Instagram and TikTok rolls, I actually hope you guys liked that, because I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. You know, I'm trying to do some different things. A lot of times, you know, it's funny. People complain that, oh, these YouTubers, they all make the same videos. They all do the same thing and whatever. But listen, one thing you have to understand, and people don't want to admit this, and I guess I'll say the quiet part out loud. Yeah, we like views. We like views on our channel. Views, I'm sorry, views turn into money. I don't know how else to put it, how else to say it, but that. And it is what it is. YouTube, listen, you can do YouTube as a hobby and just have fun with it, and it is what it is, and you don't give a rip, and that's fine. Some people do see it as a business, and some people do try to run it. This is fun for me. I enjoy it. It's a creative outlet, but I also think of it as a side gig, and it's nice that that I'm able to earn at least a little something for it. So, yeah, views are important, but sometimes you kind of go, you try to do something different, something unique, and it doesn't always pan out, or it doesn't get the views you hope it will. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, you know, do you do the things that you know are going to get views just to get the views, or do you do the things that you enjoy, or do you try to do something a little bit unique, a little bit different, and hope that it works and whatever? I try things. I try things from time to time. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, let me know, and and I will definitely try to do more of this. Get the XRK. You'll get views. Yeah, maybe. Maybe if they'd actually reached out to me and sent me one of the damn things, I would try that, but they didn't. Link for the UV mats. Oh, for the yeah, yeah. I get that. I get that, but you do like I did. I put they work side by side. I wound up for each. I have like 3 of those mats on each shelf, just one right next to each other, and it works. So, Shiloh's an exception. He rules. He can. There's big hole. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. But Shiloh's a good dude. He really is, and he tries. He definitely tries. Like I said, I get the concern, but I think in a lot of ways I'm less concerned about them than I am some of the other companies, even with all of this. Now, again, I'm trying to stay away from the dreaded T word, but we'll have to see where things go. Listen, they're putting this out. They're putting this out there at a pre-order price. $150, $120 with the discount code. They feel like a company to me that isn't going to come back and say, let me put it to you this way. If you pre-order this at that $120 price, they're not going to come back and say, oh, tariffs, blah, 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 we need more money. Now, it's not beyond the realm that this $150 retail price could change, because didn't that happen with Zoltar? I think they underpriced Zoltar, and they wound up having to bump up the price on it once it went to retail. But they did not change the price for those who pre-ordered. They did not ask those people for more money. You got a steal on Zoltar when it came out at $90, I think, was the original pre-order, and now it's what? I don't remember. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. Zoltar. And now it's $150. It was normally, I think it was going to be like $199 or $120 or something, and they had to bump it up to $150. So could this go up by the time it hits retail? Maybe, but not if you pre-order it. So I got to give them kudos on that. All right, I am running super late here. We're going to go beyond. Sorry, Arcades Anonymous. We are going to go beyond 9 o'clock, but there's a bunch of stuff that I want to cover on AtGames. So I'll cover some of this super quick. So, number 1, brand new Zen table for you 4KP owners, dropped today. Theater of Magic, $5. If you've got a 4KP pinball machine, check this one out. I'm hearing good things about it. The people who've already downloaded it are enjoying it. I'll give a quick plug to Michael B. the Game Genie, because I believe he's going to do a live gameplay of this later tonight. I think like 10 o'clock tonight. So if you want to check him out, go ahead and check him out. He's going to be playing that table. But that just came out today. Tomorrow drops a brand new Zakaria table, Earth, Wind, Fire Deluxe. $7 for the 4K owners, $6 for the HD owners. So this did go up $1. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But here's what I have to say about this game really quick. And let me see if I want to bring up something on this. Let me get this here. So this game drops tomorrow, and I got early access to it today. I play again, part of the influencer group. They do send me stuff from time to time. They do send me games from time to time to play, to review, to check out. This was one of them. They did say I literally got this like an hour before I did the show tonight. I played 2 games of this. And all I can say is buy it. Buy it. This is probably, spoiler alert, I am going to try to do a review video of this. If I can get one done in the next day or two, cool. Hopefully I don't have to go into next week because I'm not going to be around this weekend to work on anything. I'm going away this weekend. If I can get something done in the next day or two, I'll put up a review. Before I go away, I'll put up a review. Spoiler alert on my review. This is possibly one of, if not the best game that Magic Pixel has done in a long time, maybe ever. It would be cool if it was based on the band, but in all seriousness, this is probably one of the best tables they have ever done. First off, not flipper crazy. You got your 2 flippers down here. You got 1 on the side. That's it. That's it. No upper play fields, no lower play fields. Just big, mostly open table. You've got these targets here. There's a very kind of a narrow window on the play field here, but still easy enough to get to. Too many gameplay features to go over. I'll do some of that in my review. I don't want to spoil the review too much, but it's such a good game. There's so much to do, so much going on in this table. The call outs and the shout outs on it. First off, they actually have 2 voices. They got a male and a female wizard, I guess, maybe, that kind of call out, shout out different things back and forth in it. You've got the bumpers here. You've got bumpers on the side here. You've got a spot up here. You've got a drop up here where if you spell the word fire, this opens up and then the ball comes up and drops into the cauldron here and locks for a multi-ball. You've got a skill shot that goes on when you shoot the ball up into one of these 4 wireframe ramps up here. Like I said, you got these targets here. You've got these things here, these little pumpkins pop up that you can hit for score. This area in the middle, this is like, the best I can describe it is kind of like if you think of like multimorphic, because half their table is LCD, they can have a like video playing on the playfield. This little like doorway here changes and books fly in and fire and all this stuff as you play. It's such a good game. I know I'm spoiling my review, but I can't. When this drops tomorrow, pick it up. Trust me, you're gonna love it. That's about all I can really say on it. And I've been very hit or miss on some of their ones recently. Most of the time, I enjoy them. You put the Primal Carnage Deluxe. I just thought was okay. Way too flipper crazy. Nowhere near as much fun as the solid state one, in my opinion. But this game is just great. Good. You'll be glad. Trust me. You will be glad that you picked it up. I think it's phenomenal. In other news, a lot of you might know that the Black Belt Deluxe game was delayed. Well, it looks like it's back on the calendar. Yeah, I thought that one was okay. I thought that one was pretty good too. Black Belt is back on the calendar. That is going to drop on May 8th. As a matter of fact, let me do this. This was the big thing that I wanted to really talk about for these guys. So let me do this while I'm talking, because there's good and bad stuff going on with AtGames right now, and I'll try to cover it as best and as fairly as I can. So this just got sent to me today, and I have no problems sharing this because AtGames did put this out. It is on their YouTube channel. It is on their social media. It's some of the other social media platforms. So normally I do a video on these due to the upcoming. I don't know. I'm being honest with you. I don't know about anything about layoffs. I'm just being totally honest. I don't know if that's a real thing or not. If so, you know more than I do on that. Just being honest. All right. Let me go through. I want to go through the May calendar really quick, and I may wind up doing a separate video on this tomorrow because there's other stuff happening tomorrow that I might want to talk about. I'll throw this in with it, but just to go over this, there is a lot to look forward to in May, so it's kind of a good bad balance for May. Unfortunately, we've got 4 Magic Pixel tables that are set to come out in May, almost one a week. These will drop for both the 4K and the HD. So you got your Earth, Wind, Fire tomorrow. Black Belt Deluxe has been pushed to the 8th. Moonflight Deluxe comes out on the 15th, which looks okay. And Shooting the Rapids comes out on the 29th, which I think actually looks really good too. If I can, I'll kind of show a little bit of that. Also, for the 4K owners, there's going to be 2 Zen Studios ones on the 14th and the 28th. Don't know what they are yet. My guess is we'll find out at least what the one on the 14th is, either by the end of this week or early next week sometime. Be nice if it was a Star Wars one because of May the 4th. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't put my money on it. I don't know if it's. Hold on. Do I know? Hang on. See, it just says Zen Studio release. It doesn't say single pack. Doesn't say multi pack. So as of right now, we really don't even know if this is one table or more than one table. It could be single tables. It could be multi tables. The fact that there's only 2 releases this month. So again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm guessing that we'll find out at least what the one is for the 14th by early next week. Maybe we'll find out what both of them are. I don't know. But there's a lot of games coming this month, so that is definitely something to look forward to. Now, some of the bad news. They've been talking about this for probably over a month. But starting tomorrow, there are going to be price adjustments. Just as price adjustments are coming to the Legends product line starting May 1st, 2025, this ensures long-term sustainability, innovation, and the quality you expect from AtGames. Now, I have to be kind of careful what I say here for a couple of reasons. I did reach out. I did try to get a little advanced info on pricing. Now, obviously, we've seen Earth, Wind, Fire is going to be $6 for HD as opposed to the normal $5. The 4K one didn't change. It's still $7. So that may be an indication of single pack pricing changes. Not sure. I don't know what any of the other changes are. Like I said, I did reach out. There were a couple of things I was told, but I was told them in confidence. So I can't really share it, unfortunately, because it's a relationship that, means something to me. I'll say this. If you're thinking that this is strictly because of tariffs, that may not really be 100% the full story. They say here on their calendar, this ensures long-term sustainability, innovation, and the quality you expect from AtGames. There's a reason why they're changing their pricing, and there's a reason why it's digital media too, not just hardware, because a lot of people were like, well, what does tariffs have to do with digital media? Well, there's stuff that they want to do, okay, and that leads into their pricing. So I don't want to say too much more than that because, like I said, I said stuff. And don't worry, Kevin. First off, glad to see you here. Thank you so much for coming by. Yeah, I'm keeping it brief, but we'll know more tomorrow on what this is going to hit. And unfortunately, there's going to be some bad news. There's going to be some bad news when it comes to this pricing, and the only other thing that I will say, you may not be wrong on that one. You definitely may not be wrong on that one. Don't expect all the pricing changes to be May 1st. That I won't say anything more than that. There might be more coming. I'll just leave it at that. Hey, Papa Brad, good to see you. Yeah, I was just saying, if you missed it before, I was just telling people I was playing the Earth, Wind, Fire, and I think it's probably the best game or one of the best games that Magic Pixel have ever done. Sure, Dryer needs to be a place. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Unfortunately, more bad news. It looks like the Legends Ultimate 4KP is now on hold indefinitely. Again, whether or not this has to do with tariffs, I'm not totally sure. This might have to do with tariffs. Yeah, Jason, you might know something too. And like I said, I'll leave it at that. But this is unfortunate because this is something that a lot of people have been wondering about, wanting to see more info on for quite some time. I mean, it feels like they just put this coming soon up, and now they're telling us. Oops, sorry to hit the mic. Now they're telling us that it's going to be on hold indefinitely. Yeah, I'm part Italian. I talk with my hands a lot. In case you didn't realize already. So sorry, I kind of bumped the mic there for a second. This is just so unfortunate that they've had to do this, and I have to wonder what impact this is going to have as well on their 4KP line in terms of new themes for the 4KP. My guess is don't expect any anytime soon. I mean, they said there was probably going to be several months back. They said like a 9-month wait until they plan on announcing the next one. All I'll say, and again, I don't know. I don't have any insider knowledge on this. I'm just speculating. But I'm going to speculate that we might not see another theme from them at all this year. Just if this is going to be on hold, they might not even do another theme at all this year. What they have may be all they have. So we'll have to wait and see. And then another piece of bad news. So unfortunately, this May's not starting out great with news. Other than the fact that, like I said, that it looks like they have a really good lineup of games if you already own an HD or a 4K machine. But it looks like the Legends Platinum Ownership Program is going away. The AtGames Legends Platinum Program will be retired starting May 1st. I sincerely thank all LPO members for your support and loyalty over the years. Now, whether or not they plan on replacing this with something else, again, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if you actually liked this LPO program, well, it's over. Yeah, it's quite, like I said, it's quite possible. Like I said, I don't know for sure. Their stuff wasn't moving at the. Well, listen, Shane, 100% entitled to your opinion on that. I know a lot of people don't like them, don't like their business model and things that they've been doing. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. I missed that. Here we go. This is 19K Fox's fault. He raised the prices for. Everything leads back to Fox. It's all his fault. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry I missed it, bro, but thank you so much. I got you, man. All right, so I already kind of covered this already. These are the magic. These are the tables that are going to be coming out again. Earth, Wind, and Fire tomorrow. We got Black Belt coming out on the 8th. Let me see. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can. I wanted to do this really quick. I wanted to kind of blow this up a little bit and see if we can kind of get a little bit of a look at these other tables that are coming out. Yeah, you know what? Let me leave it at that. You know what? Here we go. That's about the best I can get it. All right, so this is Moonflight. This one, see, this is the problem I have with Magic Pixel. I feel like they put out one really great one, and then they kind of fall back into their old ways. And this one looks like it's going to fall back into their old ways because it's super flipper crazy. You 2, 4, 6, 8 flippers on this thing. Now, okay, you got it. This is actually an upper play field area up here. So, okay, you got your 2 flippers for your upper play field. These here are actually look like it's going to be a lower play field, kind of like Haunted House or Black Hole, though obviously Black Hole has the inverted lower play field, or what's the one, Egypt from the National Geographic or whatever it's called ones. So that's kind of cool. I always like when they do stuff like that. It falls into like a lower area that you can play. But I mean, I'll have to wait and see how this one plays before I fully pass judgment. It just looks like it just looks too busy, too flipper crazy to me. So I'm so on this one until I get a chance to check it out. This one, on the other hand, I think looks really, really cool. This is the, what is it, Shooting the Rapids. First off, the art on it looks awesome on the playfield. I like that it's a little more open. A lot less flipper crazy. You got 2 on the bottom. You've got 2 on the top here. But again, I believe this is going to be a play area, an upper play area above everything. It looks like you've got bumpers and everything underneath. They're hit or miss with these upper play areas because a lot of times the depth perception just really isn't there. So it's hard to see that it's sitting on top of another area. But if it plays well, and you could still get a good glimpse of what's going on underneath, then that's fine with me. So I am definitely. Have you played Moonflight? I have not played it. I'm just going off of what the play area looks like. Listen, if it plays good, then awesome. It could be flipper crazy and whatever and still play really good. But I wish they'd lay off all the crazy flippers. I like it when they do something like this, where it's just you got 2 flippers on the bottom, you got 2 for the upper play field. That's it. It's a more open area. So again, I always reserve judgment until I get a chance to play it. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a sneak peek at what the layouts are going to look like for these before they come out. But I think that pretty much, yeah, the rest is, the Flipper Friends, say that 10 times fast, stuff. So I'm not going to really cover that too much. But I did, like I said, I wanted to hit on the calendar because, fortunately, there's, good news and bad news when it comes to what's going on with AtGames. Now, I hope this all works out for them. Again, we'll have to see, what goes on with the price increases when they hit tomorrow, how bad it is or how not so bad it is. Like I said, listen, if the HD tables just go up $1 from 5 to 6, I'm not that concerned about that. I'm more interested to see what, the price increase is going to be on the actual hardware, on the actual, pinball machines themselves. So, again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. And the fact that the 4K, the Legends 4K is on hold indefinitely, the LPO going away, you know. But I guess, listen, sometimes you have to make these decisions as a company in order to survive when things are, in flux, when things are not so good and whatever. So I get where they're going. I hope it works out for them. I'm a fan, obviously. I'm a fan of theirs. I like what they do for the most part. But I try to be honest and call it out when I don't. And that's it. Guys, I've gone a little bit longer than I usually like to. I want to send you guys over to Arcades Anonymous. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, I do try to cover different things throughout, when I do my live shows, not just be the same old, home arcade news, because let's be honest, it's been pretty slow lately. There really hasn't been much. I mean, AtGames is the one, doing the most stuff right now than anybody. Obviously, you got New Way Toys, but Arcade 1-Up's not doing anything. Hello Kitty, maybe. We'll see. Way to end on a positive. Yeah, gee, thanks. I try my best. But look, it was stuff that had to get out there. And anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with me tonight. I always appreciate it. I will not be doing a show next week, but I will be doing one the following week, and then maybe even 2 more shows. I'm hopefully going to try to do 3 shows throughout the month of May. We'll see how it works out, and some back-to-back shows. So we'll see what happens. But as always, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, hanging out with me. It's always been a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys next time. So take care and happy gaming.